Hi guys, welcome to Let's Talk Business. We put new videos up here every week, so don't forget to subscribe. Did you know that 1 in 5 business owners report that cash flow is a continuing problem? Whether it's slow paying customers or an unexpected tax bill, how can you avoid, quite frankly, going broke when an overdraft isn't an option for you? One company helping businesses with this issue is Cashsolv, offering cash injections to tide businesses over until the money comes in. Earlier this week, I caught up with MD Carl Faulds to find out more about the facilities businesses are looking for.
So something unexpected has happened, which has impacted upon the cash flow of the business. So the money hasn't come in when expected, and there's a requirement to make an immediate payment. So we come in and make sure that the funds are available very quickly to help that business survive that particular scenario.
Now, there's got to be a lot of conditions attached to this, because it seems to me as that might be high risk money that you're offering people.
Well, potentially it is, but we think we're very experienced in understanding the problems around the business. We're very experienced in funding and how to make sure that we protect ourselves as best we can in those particular circumstances. So far, touch wood, we haven't actually had any go wrong, and we've made a fair few number of loans.
So what are people using these loans for?
A number of examples: stock to meet specific orders. So they've got the customer requiring the goods, but they can't get the orders because they haven't got the cash to pay for the stock from the supplier. But we know the order's there, so as soon as the stock's arrived, the customer pays and we get our money back. The margin obviously is kept by the business, so they still make a profit. We've used it to fund wages where a debtor receipt wasn't received on time. So monies were due in, but didn't arrive on the day required, and therefore we stepped in, bridged effectively the gap, and made sure the wages were paid and the business carried on. We've used it to help a business that was losing money, but the plan was to sell the business, but it would obviously take some months to do that. So effectively, we funded the losses, and as a result, the business was able to be sold as a going concern for much more money than it would have been sold if it had been shut down.
This is instead of an overdraft then? Is that what you're saying? Is that the sort of thing you offer? You could go to the bank and get an extra bit of overdraft?
You could, and probably going back a number of years, that was perhaps how it was dealt with. But banks have moved away generally from overdraft lending. And also now, over the last 5 or 6 years, the banks have been less willing perhaps to lend speculatively. So they've not sort of given companies the freedom to have access to the money at will. And most of the overdrafts that we've seen have generally been utilised fully. And to increase an overdraft takes time, and the banks have to go through their processes. So it's not necessarily available quickly enough.
What sort of checks do you do then on businesses?
Well, we have access to credit rating type stuff, so we can do searches on the various sources of information relating to the fundamental financials of the business. But typically it's dealt with on a bespoke basis. We meet with the directors, we talk to them about their business, we identify what their business is about, and we use our experience to make judgment calls basically based on our knowledge of how business works. It
sounds fascinating. And how long have you been doing this? You came from an insolvency practitioner sort of background. So how long has your company been running?
The insolvency practice has been running for over 20 years, but this is something we started a year ago to meet a particular need that we identified through being involved in businesses that had failed. We looked at ways in which we could help them not fail. So if we could solve their cash flow problem and we could help them in a short-term basis, often, businesses will then go on to survive. It's just they haven't got the flexibility, the working capital to deal with those bumps in the road that come along that aren't provided for.
And how would a business owner identify that they would need a facility such as yours, even before they know that they need you?
It's being realistic, really. Most businesses are very, very good at running on a shoestring when they have to.
Right.
But businesses that are constantly running on a shoestring, that can perhaps see that down the road there is something that could go wrong. And most business people are actually very optimistic, so they don't look for those sorts of things. But if they do, it doesn't hurt to have a backup plan. And we've seen that. We've had clients that have come to us and said, we think this might happen. If it does, could you help us? And we've been able to put in place a backup plan. And in some cases, it hasn't been required. But those business people have looked ahead and thought, what if? And the what if hasn't been great. And they've made provisions just in case.
Carl, thank you very much. It's a fascinating area. I can see that it's one that is an expanding area, and it's great for you to come in. Thanks very much for talking to me.
Thank you.
That's Carl Faulds from Cashsolv. We put those details on our website, letstalkbusinessonline.com. I hope you enjoyed that. We upload new videos every week, so don't forget to subscribe.